Very interesting way to end the series on. You have Urara jump Momoka in the bath. That was a very interesting way to end the series on. It actually makes me want to know what happens after that. But anyways, this series has been very enjoyable. It has been a very enjoyable series, and honestly, if you stuck with it this far, most likely you already know what it's about. It's a comedy series. Now, for the most part, comedy is subjective. It depends on someone's taste in comedy and what they want to find in specific comedy. I mean, everybody has a different taste when it comes to comedy. So, some people can really hate this series, some people can really love it. It just comes down to the taste in comedy. Now, this series has some good comedy from time to time, and I've enjoyed it for the most part. Majority of the time, I have enjoyed this series when I sit down and watch it. The only time, truthfully, I have not enjoyed this series is when they kind of reuse the same comedy over and over. For instance, the entire bit with Momoka being fat, that entire scene was used like 3 or 4 times. It was actually even used in this episode, but the way they used it was pretty funny in this episode, especially taking a jab at shonen manga. But, I mean, for the most part, this series has been very fun. I mean, animation hasn't been the best, and the art style is not the best, but I mean, it has been a fun watch. And for the most part, the comedy was good. It was a lot different than some comedy anime I have seen from this year. And even though the comedy wasn't the most groundbreaking I have seen, it was still funny to watch, and it gave me the laughs that it was supposed to do. So when an episode of a comedy series can at the very least give me one laugh an episode, they did their job. And at the very least, I remember I've had a bunch of laughs for each individual episode, so I can count, this series as a good comedy series. Now, for the most part, this episode, the way it concludes, most likely we're never going to get a Season 2. I highly doubt we'll ever have a Season 2 of this series, but if we do, I most likely will watch it, because I'm interested to see what will happen to Urara and Momoka at the end of this episode, you know what I mean? Now, overall, if I had to say, though, would I recommend this series to other people? I most likely would. I would recommend it for anyone that's looking for some comedy and they want like some form of club room type comedy like Defrag. Actually, this series reminds me a little bit of Defrag. Not as funny as Defrag. Defrag was just so out there in comedy, I was like, what the hell, when I was watching it. But this comedy is similar to Defrag, and it's completely opposite from, Gekon Shoujo of this season or Barokamon. This is like more of slapstick comedy that, Sabagebu actually uses in its episodes, and the slapstick comedy, for the most part, I've always enjoyed. So if I had to rate this series honestly, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, the comedy's not the best, but it got me to laugh. Now, if I was to watch this series again and know what I know now about it, would I watch it again? Most likely I would. I have no bad thoughts or bad, feelings about this series, so I feel like I can close the final page on, Sabagebu today and say that I've enjoyed what I have seen. So tell me your thoughts on this final episode of this series. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments about it? And I love all of you so much. You have a wonderful day or not. Please be safe. Chibi out.